we talk now about the AFC West, and this is the first day that we're taking a look at our pre-camp looks at everybody in the NFL. Tomorrow it'll be the AFC and NFC North. Then we'll move on to the East divisions, and we'll get the NFC South in there on Thursday, and then on Monday we'll come back with a full close look at the AFC South, including the Tennessee Titans. Phone lines are open as well, but right now we are joined by Mike Heimerdinger. He is the assistant head coach now of the Denver Broncos, and he also handles the quarterbacks out there. Mike, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine, Tom. How you doing?
We are fantastic here, Mike. And let's start with the guy you got at quarterback right now, because this is the big question. Everything is in the hands of Jay Cutler. Obviously, was very, very popular here in town. Did a great job at Vanderbilt. Did a great job in his rookie year. You've been looking at quarterbacks for a lot of years. What are you looking at with this guy here? What kind of a quarterback is he going to develop into?
Well, I think we think he has a chance to develop into a pretty good one. And there's a learning curve, obviously, in the NFL, and he does a great job. Every time he does something wrong, he learns from it, and that's the great thing about Jay, is he studies it so much. But physically, arm strength, his mobility, I think down the line he's going to be one of the better ones in the league if he keeps growing and learning and studying like he has.
People talk a lot of times about a sophomore jinx. Is it so much a jinx sometimes with these guys, or is it that, those defensive coaches, they get a paycheck too. They get a chance to look at all this film, break this guy down. They spend the whole off season looking at it, and obviously he's painfully aware of the fact that, everybody's going to know a little bit more about him now because they got movies on him.
Well, I think it's a little bit of, all you said, but obviously defensive coaches get paid too, and sometimes, a lot of times the rookie, defensive coaches in this league seem to really just think with the rookie, if they pressure him and play man-to-man a lot, which they do early to see if they can handle that, they give them that look. Now the next year, when you go through the whole season, they get a lot of different looks, and defenses start changing that, playing a little bit more zone, a little more zone blitz, a little different looks, and so there's a learning curve there the whole way. So it takes a while, and I think one of the few ones in his sophomore year that learned was Peyton, and he learned how fast you got to get rid of the ball. You can't sit in there and look at a million things, and he learned you couldn't take the same sacks that he took his first year. So every quarterback learns in this league, and every year it's growing until they feel comfortable.
Okay, Dinger, most important question: how'd you hit him today?
I stink.
Oh, come on.
I'm really glad the season's starting in a week.
Throw those golf clubs in the river. Let's put those sticks away, huh? You didn't let Shanahan beat you today, did you?
He didn't play today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He can golf his ball, too, can't he, Shanny? Is he a pretty good golfer? Not as good as Elf.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Hey, Daniel, let's talk about Travis Henry, the acquisition you guys made at running back from the Titans, of course. And what do you think he's going to add to the Broncos running game, and what kind of season are you expecting from Travis?
Well, I think Travis is going to add a lot to our game. We really think Travis could be a 1,500-yard runner, and just in the camps we've had, you can see that his vision's great. Obviously we don't have pads on, but the things we've done, you can see that a lot of times his vision is very good, and how strong he is in a hole. But when there's something, not even a big hole there, he's making runs that when you look at it on film, you say, okay, that one's good for 4, just because of his strength, his lean, the things he can do. He's going to add a lot to us, and that's going to help Jay.
Brandon Marshall's a real interesting guy at receiver for you, and mixing in with Javon Walker and, of course, the great veteran Rod Smith. Tell us about Brandon Marshall and what excites you about him.
Well, right now, Brandon's 6'4". He's 225 pounds, and he runs a legit 4.4. He's got great strength and size, and he's got all the things you look for in a wide receiver. Our problem with Brandon is he's been hurt all off season, so if we can't get him healthy, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. But on paper, and when you look at a guy, he should be a great number 2 for us, across from Javon, with Rod or Stokely being the third guy in there. And Brandon's one of those guys right now that word potential is supposed to say, because you keep saying, gosh, he's got this, he's got that. We just need to get the guy healthy. And every time we've gotten him on the field this off season, he's pulled the thigh muscle, and so he's really only practiced 3 days. So all the things we were expecting out of him, I don't know. So, now I'm more worried about him being healthy than I am physically doing the other stuff, because I know what he can do physically.
Is there kind of a sense of unfinished business after you guys got off to a really good start last year and then had the disappointing loss to the 49ers with the playoffs on the line? How's the mindset of the team?
Well, the one thing about the Broncos is, obviously we're all disappointed with the way we started, the way we finished, and we think we've added some good people in free agency and helped ourselves across the board, especially on defense with, Gray Black playing the other corner across from Champ, and our defensive line, we've got some depth there now. I mean, I think we've got like 28 defensive linemen in camp, but Mike's gone out, but around here, if you don't go to the Super Bowl, it's a disappointment anyway. So that's always our goal, and that's so even if we would have finished good, got to the playoffs, if we don't go to the Super Bowl, it's like a giant letdown anyway. So everybody's looking forward to getting started, and we think we've improved ourselves in the places that we think we need help. Daniel Graham's going to help us at tight end. That was a great acquisition for us, and obviously Travis we've already covered, but I think those were two spots when we sat down and looked at our offense in the offseason. We thought we could help Jay, and now it's up to Jay to go out and play, and hopefully we can do the things we need to do.
Coach Mike Heimerdinger is our guest, of course, the assistant head coach now with the Denver Broncos. And Mike, when you look at that division as well, it seems like you got a team in San Diego, tremendous talent, but a coaching change there. A lot of people feel like Kansas City's on the decline and the Raiders are a mess. Is there a sense of urgency in Denver as you put together this group to say that, this is a great time to really make some hay with this team and put up some big numbers?
Well, I don't know if it's a sense of urgency, because again, Mike's one of the few head coaches I've been around that from day one talks about if we don't go to the Super Bowl, it's a disappointment. So there's always a sense of urgency here. But I think our division, I agree with you, San Diego probably is the most talented team in the NFL, I think. And defense, they've got great people. Offense, they've got great people. But the coaching change, we'll have to see what happens there. And, Phil played good last year for him, so I think San Diego's in great shape, and Kansas City, as long as you got Larry Johnson, you're in great shape. But it'll be interesting to see what happens at quarterback, especially if the rookie ends up being there. Brody Coyle ends up being their starter. So, I think that we know the AFC West. The one thing about it is it's like when Jeff was at Jacksonville. When Jeff was with Tennessee back then, we spent a lot of time and we beat each other up. We were all pretty good, between Indy, Jacksonville, and Tennessee, we beat each other up so much that when you got to the other divisions, you were killing each other, and so you're just hoping to stay healthy and get through it. And the AFC West is a lot the same. Everybody's physical, and the thing people say about the Raiders, they're in disarray, but their defense was number 3 in the league last year, and they got all those guys back. So they're pretty good there.
Let me ask you a quick question about the guy you had last year that is just sitting around out there now, retired Jake Plummer at a young age, a guy that had a ton of promise and did some really, really great things, and then also did some crazy things in his career as a player. But this guy obviously still has football left in him, but he says he's gone to the mountaintop. He has not filed his papers yet with the NFL. You know the man. Is he done? Do you think he's honest about, hey, I'm done playing, I'm hanging him up, I'm going up and I'm going to hunt and grow my beard out, and that's it?
Well, if there's anybody that would do that, Jake could do it. Jake's one of those guys that when he takes a stand, he sticks to it, and he's kind of taking a stand, and I think Jake's tired, Jake's tired, got tired of the press, got tired of all the hassles that go with it, and so it wouldn't shock me to see him take a year off and then maybe come back, after that year. But him making that announcement and sticking to it doesn't shock me. Jake's very much like people said Pat Tillman was when they make a commitment. The two guys are very, when Jake says something, he sticks to it, and money's not a problem to Jake. He saved every penny, that he's ever made, because if you ever saw how Jake got dressed up, he didn't spend a lot on clothes, and the guys, beat up Volkswagen or whatever it was.
Razor blades or any of that stuff.
So I mean, and Jake, if he makes that commitment, that it wouldn't shock me for him to stick with that and do it. I know he's getting married in August, and he rebuilt his house up in Idaho, and so it looks like he's going to go ahead and stick to it and go on with that plan.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. Best of luck this season out there.
All right, thanks a lot, you guys.
Hey, thanks, Dinger. And don't throw those golf clubs away yet. You'll be all right. Tomorrow's another day.
I know, in 1 week, though, Jeff, that's it.
I understand. Hey, thanks, Dinger. Thanks for being with us, and best of luck.
Thanks for having me.
It's like my golf game. I just want to take 2 weeks off and then quit. That's the answer for me.